Thanks for tuning in, guys. So I'm in the backyard. This is the Supersedure Queen mini nuke. I might just do a little follow along series with this hive. So I did a video about 2 weeks ago with this one, and they had three or four little combs of brood, mainly capped brood. So there's been a bit of a growth in the population. Back then they were just mainly populating the front half of the box, so you can see bees there more towards the back as well. So they were sort of a bit struggling for space back then, so they had a lot of full, combs that were all honey, capped honey, so the queen didn't have much room to lay. But you can see here she's just come back in the box a bit and laid a bit of brood at the bottom of that comb. And I went in after that inspection and put in this empty comb. This next one I'm going to look at here was just a dry comb. You can see they got on that straight away and prepped it up, and she laid in it. And it's a nice big patch of brood there. You can see the fresh honey along the top there, so there's a bit of nectar coming in. And they've done a tremendous job there with that little comb. So that was just an empty comb out of a dead out hive. So it had nothing in it. So all that work they've done there, they've done that themselves. Yeah, that little one I took out first, I'll just put that aside. It's just got a little bit of brood on it. Yeah, this one here, sort of in the middle of the box, is just all honey. It's sort of touching each other there, so I'm just breaking off a bit of brace comb. I was touching the other comb. Just tidy that up a bit. It's a bit of a nuisance when the combs are a bit too close together. So there's just a few combs here that don't have sidebars, so just going to mess around here and put on a few sidebars. So this hive's really building up quite nicely. They're expanding the brood area and the population's growing. Still technically in winter here, but it's definitely like the spring build up has begun. You can't see it, but there's a little bit of open brood down the bottom of that comb. Just figuring out how many sidebars I need. So I went and got those. So it's a terrible windy day here. This was on Sunday, there were storms around and windy sort of conditions, but I just had to get in and do this while I had the chance. So there's actually fresh honey in these combs right at the back. That's an old brood comb out of some other hive there. There's a bit of fresh honey on this one. I'll just shake the bees off and take these two combs out. And then I'm going to move some of these others back a bit. So you can't see, but in the background I've got a couple of nice empty brood combs that I'm going to put in the middle of the box there, just to give them space to expand the brood nest. So I'll have to decide what I do with this hive. I'm a bit tempted to put one of those 4-frame Langstroth hive boxes on here once they build up a bit more, and sort of expand these into a full depth Langstroth hive. And then what I'll do is use all these brood combs to make up new minis. There's the queen there on this comb. So So that was sort of third one, fourth one back from the back of the hive. So she's searching around in there looking for somewhere to lay. So that's telling me she's run out of space to lay in the front half of the box. So she's searching around back here looking for empty cells to lay in. Just keeping an eye on there, making sure I'm not squashing her with the sidebars. So I'm just moving all these combs back a space or two. I'm going to free up a bit of space in the box to put in a couple of other empty combs. So yeah, over the next few weeks or next few days even, she's going to open up probably another 4 or 5 brood combs. So as soon as I can start grafting, I'll make some queen cells and I can start splitting these up and making some more mating nukes. The only thing holding me back from grafting now is drones. There's no drones in these hives yet, so I can't mate any queens until the drone population builds up a bit. I can tell from this hive that the conditions are pretty good in town here. Sort of inspired me to move a few hives back to the edge of town. So here's one of these empty combs. You can see there's nothing in it. It's had brood in it in the past, so it fits in there nicely beside that other brood comb. So she'll be right onto that and lay in there in the next 24 hours, I'd say. Just reshaping that comb a bit so these sit together a bit better. Like I said, I don't like them when they touch together. It creates too much burr comb. It's just a couple of little bits of comb there on the floor that I'm trying to tidy up. I'll eventually work out how to fit these together. Just want a little bee space gap between each comb. And there's another empty comb there out of a dead out hive. Well, that's it, it's all put back together there. I'm just spreading those sidebars out a bit. I've decided I like when they touch the walls rather than leaving a gap. I'm just spreading the sidebars out a little bit on that comb. And I'll close it up and let them get back to work. Thanks guys.